Okay, hi. Thanks to Broadcast Sport for asking me to come on. I've normally, if I'm talking previously in forums, it's been about how we can use 5G for contribution, private networks, untethered cameras, which is great, and it's still a big part of my role, looking at how we can develop that using 5G and all the different drops and looking to create a true broadcast grade network. What I want to talk to today is to look at how 5G is going to drive new fan experiences across the industry. This is something I'm really passionate about. I think we've always, certainly I've always looked at future technology like holographics and things like that is being the ultimate, I guess, from my sort of childhood watching Star Wars, and they're on the holographic chessboard, and so always we wrote. So I wrote a vision and a VT that our creative team. This was last February, really to get people internally and externally thinking about how 5G can work with using its low latency, massive bandwidth, opportunity to use network slicing and quality of service, and the rise of wearables, how this could look both on the contribution and the distribution side. So you'll see it's a 3-minute VT. I think our creative team once again did a fantastic job on this, and you'll probably spot the West Country link, as those who know me or those who can hear me will realise I'm from the West Country. So Rich, if you can run VT.
We love football because it's always changing, and so is the way we bring it to you. At BT Sport, we've always been at the forefront of the latest technology. We already bring you enhanced experiences with our BT Sport app. And now we're at the dawn of a whole new era. A breakthrough that will truly revolutionise the way we enjoy the beautiful game.
This is 5G, and it is really amazing.
Get ready for the immersive media revolution. What this all means is that with 5G, every seat will be the best seat in the house. Literally.
Oh, you're here, are you?
Yeah, sorry, mate, I had to take the dog out. You'll be able to share every moment in real time wherever you are with whoever you choose to. And no lag.
This is what ultra low latency looks like.
A reaction time that you simply wouldn't believe.
Alexander-Arnold, perfectly done. Salah's in here. He scored!
Never miss a thing with an untethered viewing experience.
You're watching this?
Yeah, I've got it on.
And it's a penalty to City. He saved it!
Oh, wow, look at that.
What is it?
The Red Devil.
With 5G, get that thrill first game. Guaranteed every time.
It means we can bring the viewer at home to the heart of the action and the power of broadcast to everyone at the stadium.
No, look, it doesn't touch the ball. The reliability and speed of 5G will enable us to control an array of cameras that will create a total field of view.
Where would you hit it?
Top left.
Unlocking ways of seeing every moment. From the optimum, unobstructed angle, and giving our production teams unlimited creative freedom.
Absolutely outstanding!
And if you miss anything, multi-angle replays will let you see it again and again in your own time.
Oh, it's fantastic!
Bamiyan.
All of this can be experienced with devices like these glasses, and in the future, maybe even without. I can make you disappear.
Stop it. The game is the same as it ever was.
But the possible is unlimited.
Oh, I've got a message. It's from Aubameyang.
Get off the pitch!
5G is coming, and one of the driving forces behind it is BT Sport. We can't wait.
Okay, so I will now share my slides, and we can kick off. Okay, so we wanted to look at how we can bring this to life, and the Department for Culture, Media and Sport launched a program, almost a competition for funding, to try and drive innovation through the creative industries, called 5G Create, and we formed a consortium to bid for funding to bring these experiences to life using the power of 5G, which we were successful in. And now I'm going to talk about what we're going to do within that project, and then hopefully where we go from here. So if I just give you an overview of the project. So as you saw then, we have all of these experiences and aspirations to, to bring the fan closer to the heart of sport. But all of these experiences, you need a huge amount of processing power. And actually, when you look at wearables, you really need them to be light. People, we're not talking sat there with a headset on. We're talking about shared experiences. Sport is a social activity, whether in the stadium or in the home. So we need to do that processing somewhere. And so what we're looking to do is look at how we can use graphics processing units at the edge of the network to be able to do all of the hard processing that you need in these immersive experiences. And then you have a lightweight version of that, almost just the images that will then go to either your smartphone or the wearable devices. So that means there's a lot of work to do. We have to define what the architecture looks like. We have to build the capabilities, and that's being done from a BT Sport are sponsoring this, and our BT technology team are delivering with the consortium. We want to understand the measurements. We want to try all the applications, do some demonstrations and insight, but also look at the business cases. So a lot of people talk about edge computing and say, oh, that's great. We can put everything at the edge. It can go on the cell site. That might be, the capabilities might be there, but actually you have to be able to scale that. So it's more around, where do we put this capability? Is it back in an aggregation? Is it actually further back in a data center? So a lot of this is going to be done as part of these experiences. So our partners, as we said, we're the lead partner. We provide the sports rights and the broadcasting and the footage. The 5G network is part of is EE, and then the application development is and all of the planning and executions being doing in our test bed at Adastral Park with our applied sciences team. The Grid Factory are building out the cloud GPU platforms. They have a great history of doing this for other industries and verticals. Condensed Reality are looking at the volumetric capture and delivery, and we'll come on to what that means. Salsa Sign are doing the audio capture and delivery, and I think this is a big thing that kind of gets missed when you start talking about these very advanced immersive experiences. Is if the sound isn't right, the experience isn't right. And I think yesterday, Jamie talked about the importance of high quality sound in broadcasting in general. We also have a cultural company called Dance East, who are looking at how they can use immersive experiences to take their lessons and their expertise to people who can't make it to the studio. Obviously, no one can at the moment to do lessons, but also there are people with accessibilities issues or just can't get there, and they can expand that. And then Bristol University are with us on this, which is great because they have a huge amount of immersive content research. So that's the consortium, and it's working really well. Everybody has a shared vision of what we can do, and everybody's really excited about the project. So this is just a slide explaining what we're going to be doing. So we have the sports and dance. So we're going to use for one of the demos MotoGP. There's boxing, football, and as I said, dance. In the dotted line below, there are other experiences that we're going to look at, because when you look at sports broadcasting, actually a lot of the work we do, and this is true of using 5G for contribution, hits other verticals. So we're also looking at how this can work in retail, in healthcare. So as I said, if you can do virtual dance lessons, you can do virtual doctor's appointments or medical things. And construction is another one. So what we take is all of that very, very content-rich capture, and then we feed it in to do the, I guess, the grunt of the work using NVIDIA Cloud XR. So that's where we host the applications. And then at the other side of that is the video, audio, and data, which is very low latency, and obviously that between 20 and 100 megabits per second is sorry, it's a lot lower as you take 1 gig in. To be able to provide to any of the end devices at scale, you obviously can't be using that because it's just inefficient and won't work with the spectrum. But also the location and tracking needs to be really, really low latency, and that's where the power of 5G comes in, both in terms of that high throughput required, but also the low latency, so you don't feel sick and you can actually walk around and have these experiences. So one of the things is, and it says at the bottom there, where should the edge be located? And we have tier 1, 1,200 sites, the metro sites where we get more aggregation, 106, and regional hub. And that is based around scalability, but also the techno-economics of it. Putting 1,200 instances of this for a couple of applications is not going to be cost effective. But actually, if you had lots of verticals, and this was a platform that we built new models on, such as I mentioned, some of those other things, not just creative industries and sport, then actually that might make sense. And then you could maybe start in the regional hub, and it's trying to work out, is that too much latency? How does it all work? So it's going to be really, really interesting. And then the end devices are headsets, VR headsets, AR headsets, augmented reality, tablets, phone, and the TV. So the first one we're going to do is using the MotoGP. This is all about being able to curate your own experience. As we know, sport is a social piece, so we don't believe that virtual reality is wearing the headset. It just doesn't work. Also, it's not really virtual reality, it's actually reality. So augmenting experience overlays. So the way I think about it is, if I'm sat in a room with my friend, I like MotoGP, but I'm not a super fan. I actually just like watching the broadcast, and that's fine. I have my glasses on, I see everything else in the room, and we chat, but on the wall, I just have a normal size screen. Whereas I can have a friend, and those who know petrol heads will know that they want lots more data and images and stats, and that's where we can have these experiences. So we're able to make the room how you want it. So that could be every driver's helmet cam, a helicopter cam, and then we'll have an tabletop overlay of the circuit, where the riders are, and it's really going to be, I've seen this in the lab at the moment, and it just, already looks fantastic. And we're looking at how we port that, and also how we can make it, even more rich. Can we have more screens if we start to unload more and more onto the GPU? The next one is volumetric video, and that's and spatial awareness sound. And this is my favorite, I think, in terms of concepts, is actually being able to walk around a holographic boxing match, but edited and curated in time with the live broadcast. That's I think this in future, and you saw it in the video there where we were talking about football, actually, that is further on down the road. And as we said, none of these are products. This is all about how we could work the technology and how it works. So it's an R&D project. So you won't be seeing it in the shops anytime soon. But it's that size, the size of a ring or a basketball court or a cage for UFC. It really means that we can get all of the cameras around there. It's 32 cameras, massive processing. And then we have the editorial and the commentaries and the automatic replays come back as they would if you have a second screen on your app. Now, the augmented stadium experience is interesting. I think as a broadcaster, we have so much more information and content that we could give one of our fans, our subscribers in the stadium. And I think all broadcasters have kind of underserved people in the stadium. The way I see it is, if I'm a season ticket holder, I've only ever sat in one seat all the time I go. I might just like to watch the penalty from the other side, or from behind there, or from above. And that's difficult to do. But if you've got wearables on, you can change seat. Anywhere can be the best seat in the house. And with your phones, you can get overlays. And again, it's really exciting for me to come from that initial vision to be able to say, actually, this is something that we can do now. And I think also we can show replays, so you don't see there, but you could move your phone up, and you could actually have your own huge virtual jumbotron. But also there's a safety issue. I know it doesn't matter at the moment, obviously, because there's no one there. But just finding your seat or finding the exit, or if there's some sort of incident where you need to get to the exit really quick. And then you start to look at, other ways of involving this with club merchandise, lots of opportunities for different revenue streams. But we're interested in it for the fan experience. But, this could be in future something that, stadiums offer, or not just broadcasters. So the last one is what I mentioned about the volumetric dance lessons. And I think this is, as I said, we use broadcasting and we use sport and culture, I guess, with the dance to prove things that we think are really good for the fan or for the participants here. But this is a perfect example of how, the current situation we're in now. So 2 of my boys had to stay at home for their first 2 lessons, just so that the teachers could get used to doing Microsoft Teams and Zooms in case they had to be isolated. You look at this, and you can have the teacher there in your, it could have a teacher there in your room, and the students can be there. And obviously, that would be a much better experience. I know we were all getting a little bit of fatigue on Zoom meetings. Oh, you're probably getting fatigue on this one because I've been on it. But that's the experiences that we're really quite excited about. Stop sharing. And I'm just going to go and have a look at the questions here that have come up. When do you think some of these future-orientated AR concepts may become a reality? Well, this is a 2-year project. We have some of them already developed that we're looking at, and it's all about now the architectures. A lot of it's written in Unity, and so you'll be seeing these early next year as we start to do the different drops, if you like. We're not going to run them all in parallel. You'll have one, be it MotoGP or one of the others. We're just working it out in terms of how that goes. So in terms of when will you be able to buy them, that's that's unknown yet. And we need to be able to do all of this work up front, because we need to be able to work out, how viable, how does that have to work? How many subscribers do you have to have? How many GPUs do you need? What's the production costs of cameras? All of that. But I'm very, very confident that in the next couple of years, you'll be watching sport or dance or teaching holographically in full volumetric. So, there are audience question. There are really exciting concepts and potential applications in your presentation. Oh, thank you. I wasn't actually a question. So what I'm going to do now, wow, I actually hit time. That's very unusual. So that's me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd be happy to come back on and talk more about it once we've started to develop and deliver some of the experiences. Now, please, can you join for the next session, brought to you by Jigsaw24, and that's on how to put an OB truck in the cloud, which sounds like a very difficult way of parking. And then you can also visit their virtual booth. And thanks again to Broadcast Sport. Oh, one more question. Okay. The question is, what specialist crew roles will be needed for these projects? Well, that's quite an interesting thing, because I was given a talk to some of the students that were in, we do BT Sport Takeover, where we bring in some students from local sixth form colleges, and they learn in 8 weeks how to put a full production on. And if it's good enough, it will go to air. So I was talking to them about, what's coming down the line. And it was really interesting to see them, as sort of teenagers are. They were sat there, and I was getting very excited, and it's very difficult to tell if they're excited. Some of them were awake, so that was good. But when I said about, coding and writing in Unity and using game engines and things like that, that was it. They were, their eyes, widened, and I was explaining, this is very much crossover with gaming. We actually, sport is, we've got esports, which is just another sport. And, this is a great example of how you could do esports, and you can see, the game unfold in front of you. And that's, those are the skills that we're going to need. We'll still need the normal crews. Anyway, I'm out of time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you